Alright, to the best of our ability, we're going to sketch out some flowers, and I made sure to use a close-up image so we can get, some good details. Now, first things first, when we draw flowers, we want to get basic shape. So I'm going to sketch that out and make sure I've got my nice big circle. I'm going to get the center of the flower. I'm trying to make sure the placement is all correct. Big flower, little trumpet. This one's going off the paper. And there's a little guy back here, but we can probably get away with not drawing him. Now next, when you have a lot of petals, it's okay if you're not drawing each and every one. But make sure that you're getting key points like this where your petals are far away from each other. And you may want to draw some of these that are foreshortened because of the perspective. They're going to appear shorter, they're going to have different shapes, they even may look incredibly thin. So we've got a gap here that's really important as we go from being able to see more of the petal to far less because of that foreshortening. This here, we've got a gap, so this side will come down and then out, and we just want to get that basic shape. We've got another gap here, so let's try to match that. Alright, now we're looking at the pastel drawings of Georgia O'Keeffe. She also did oil paintings. Sometimes I've taught this project with oil pastel, but I wanted to give you guys a chalk pastel lesson. I think it's pretty fun and important to learn. They're very similar and they're both kind of messy. It really just depends what you like. Okay, so I'm not getting too crazy, but there are some extra petals down here. And this guy, he's a weird flower. He's splayed in every direction. He's got some petals going down, he's got some petals going straight out. Now we're going to apply color using some of these pastel techniques. So the first thing, we might use the point and do a little bit of feathering just to get our petals. And the amazing thing, we get to use any color we want. So I'm going to make some of these pink. I'm going to come in with the point, and it's having some difficulty, so I rotated it to a different point. Chalk does that sometimes when you put it up against pencil. So when you're using your pencil on your final draft and on this paper, make sure that you're going really lightly and not adding too much detail, because they don't get along. Alright, so I'm using some feathering technique. I'm using the end of the chalk. And this is how I'm going to draw some of those extra petals. Might use some stippling on the inside of the flower. Same here. And I'm going to look for anywhere that I might see some hard shadows, where I get a hard outline. Be selective about that. This side is facing the light, so there should not be as many shadows. This one's going to be a little tricky. So a little stippling here. And then I'm going to find a lighter value. This is actually a light peach. It's just got a lot of red on the bottom, so I'm going to get that cleaned off. This is a great one to use to make a pink flower. Now I can always go back and add more of that pink. Ooh, there we go. So remember, as you're working, you're going to end up with a lot of dust. Do not blow it, don't inhale it. Because keep in mind, anytime you're going to blow something, you take a deep breath first, right? You go, and then blow out. That means that you are inhaling that chalk dust, and that's not good for your lungs. Gently shake. And again, I can go back and add in some more of that detail back if I need to. And I might also want to grab like some yellow and add that in the center. And for my lighter flowers, I may use like a peach or a darker yellow, but I want to keep it in the same tone. Since these are warm tones, I want to keep it a warm color. So here I might feather with some yellow. That's the nice thing about working from a black and white photo. You can make up any color. And sometimes, if you're in doubt about which value is darker, try it out on some scratch paper or in your sketchbook first. Because I did not. Luckily, I'm okay with what happened. But I'm going to go back over top with a third color. Kind of blend that out a little bit. So those are two very similar colors. I'm going to go back over with this guy. There we go. Now I can make the stems green if I really want to, or to keep it a little bit more neutral, I can change it. I know the stems are not actually brown. Now this brown is incredibly dark, which I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to go back over top with one of these colors I've already used. That way those it blends a little bit more naturally. It looks like it goes with the image. And that just helps balance out the image. I'd say that's done for now. I definitely want to go back and add some darker values here. And now that I know that brown is incredibly dark, I'll just add a little bit. All right, all done.